Let's talk with your host, Reggie B. Come on, let's all join in. Free your voice, it's your choice, alright here. Oh, simply straight talk.
Hey, we knew you couldn't resist. Thank you for coming back to check out part 2 of Angelique and Reggie giving their feedback to listeners about their questions. Go ahead and enjoy the show. We're not going to hold you up. Okay, nameless.
Okay, we got nameless now, right?
They're getting creative.
The man with no name.
Let me say, I love the show to butter up the Simply Straight Talk folks.
Okay.
All right.
Where's this going?
I know. Seriously, I love the show. Okay, I have been separated from my wife for about 3 years. We were married for 20 years. She developed cancer and decided that it was best if we split because she couldn't be intimate anymore. She comes to my place to see our kids and who are adults now. Let me see, what is it saying? Okay, I don't know where she is living because she won't tell me. Anyway, I have met a woman at my job that I like, and we have been talking, but a few days ago, we started kissing and touching each other at work. Not a good idea.
Hey!
I'm like, and I really wanted to do more, and she wanted the same thing, but we were afraid of getting caught. My wife and I have talked about divorce, but neither one of us wants to do the paperwork. But now I feel like my life is on hold. I really like the woman at my job, and we have great conversations, but I don't know if I want to be in another relationship right now. The woman I work with wants a real relationship. I love talking to her and feel good being around her, but I don't know what to do. So what do you think about all this? You're confused.
Yeah, all right, okay, because that was a big question with a lot of stuff, right? I'm going to ask you some questions and you can clarify. So he said his wife had developed cancer. Is she still ill?
Yeah.
Or does he not clarify it? She's still currently ill.
Mm-hmm.
And she's separated from him because while she's ill, she doesn't want to be intimate or can't be intimate with him.
Yeah.
Okay. And on top of that, she is now living in a completely different location that he doesn't know about.
Yeah, she won't tell him where she lives.
And that was 3 years ago.
He didn't specify time. He said they've been married for 20 years.
Somewhere at the beginning, I'm sure he mentioned 3. Start from the beginning again, read that question.
Oh, yeah, I have been separated from my wife for about 3 years.
Okay, and then the only time she comes around is to visit their now adult children.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna keep it 100, you know? I'm gonna keep it 100. Y'all need to sign some papers and get the hell out of Dodge. Okay, because what? I say this with love, but why? What? Why? I get it, she's ill, but if you haven't been together for 3 years, you haven't had a intimate romantic relationship for 3 years, and the kids are now adults, what are you holding for? And I swear to God, Reggie, if you tell me it's because I don't want to sign some paperwork, oh Lord, I'm gonna slap somebody. If that literally is the only reason why you have not divorced, get your shit together. I'm gonna be real with you. But if there's some other emotional, deeper reason that you've not disclosed in this question, which is fair enough, then that needs to be addressed. Because I'm sure it's a lot more complicated than what he's making out.
Yeah.
Because this whole, I want to touch someone at work because she's nice or whatever, that can't run. HR nightmare, you need to tell them, customer service consultant. That's a HR nightmare waiting to happen. Go get your ass both fired. And also, you both deserve... Your separated wife, you and this new woman all deserve to live a life of freedom and just living how you want to live and being in a relationship that is healthy. This sounds very toxic. It sounds like you're sticking together just for some unknown reason, which you haven't stated, because you haven't actually stated why you haven't divorced your wife, apart from I don't want to sign paperwork. Because if that's the reason, honestly, that's some bullshit.
Yeah, because I don't understand that either.
You need to clarify that, I'll be honest, because until we have all the information, it's hard to say, because it just sounds like you've gotten used to the situation, but now you've met someone, and now it's like, oh, but now I'm going to have to sort it out, and I can't be bothered. That's what it sounds like, and that just sounds really silly, but I'm sure it's not as superficial as that. I hope not.
Yeah, because it sounds like he's on the fence, because it's like, what did he say? but I don't know if I want to be in another relationship right now, then you're sort of leading the other lady on.
Oh, so he just wants sex. Oh,
That's
I
what it
see.
sounds like.
Oh, you just want to get your freak on because it's been a little while. I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. I mean,
Which is fair enough. You're human. You have needs.
yeah. But I think if that's what his need is, he needs to be honest with the other woman.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, I just need to bust a load because I haven't in 3 years, and my wife has cancer. Which, you know, I'm sorry to hear your wife has cancer.
That was so crass. I just need to bust a load. You are such a man. That's so disgusting.
Well, that's what he's saying.
Sorry, I can't breathe.
That's what he's saying.
But what made me laugh is that you said that and they went, I'm sorry about your wife, by the way. It's like, what? No, you can't go back to being a gentleman afterwards, Reggie. It's true, though. And if that is if all you need is release and a bit of random sex, because, again, you're a man and you're human, you have needs, that's fair enough. There are apps for that. Tinder, whatever. There's so many now. Like, you don't need to go and develop a relationship with someone if you're not looking to do that. If you don't want intimacy and you don't want to get in another relationship, then don't. That's fine, my man. Go and find someone, so long as you've had that discussion with your wife so that she knows that. Because if she finds out and she's under the illusion that you're holding out for her, that's also going to be another mess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so be clear about the things you're going to do. If your wife is happy for you to go off and do that because she split up with you for that reason, make sure you have that conversation and you're honest with her so she's aware. And if she has any complaints, then you'll need to discuss it further and decide maybe we need to split up. Because you have every right to have your needs met, and so does she, your wife, and so does the woman you're seeing. But if you're leading this woman on that, oh yeah, I want to have a relationship, when actually, as Reggie said, you just want to bust a load, then that's not fair.
No, it's really not. It's really not. And it's like, it's almost like he's trying to get sympathy for him to justify, you know, the things he's doing.
I don't. I can't really speak for that, but his situation is hard.
Yeah.
So I don't have sympathy. I have empathy. I have empathy because that's hard, and so I'm sending. You know what I mean? I feel for you, but you're a grown man, and your wife's a grown woman. Decisions need to be made. Stop sweeping it under the carpet and trying to have your cake and eat it. Speak up, express yourself, talk to your wife about what it is that you want and what you're trying to seek outside of this marriage. Take it from there. I empathize. This is not a nice situation. I send love to your wife in her cancer battle. I send wife to you as someone who is witnessing someone you care for dealing with cancer. But you cannot keep sweeping stuff under the carpet and hoping you could just have your cake and eat on the side and, you know, everything will be all right. It doesn't work like that.
Exactly.
Life has not stopped just because, unfortunately, your wife has cancer. Life is still going on, so you need to deal with it and speak to her about it.
Yes. Be accountable, our friend.
That's the word I was looking for. Be accountable.
Be accountable.
You got this. Like, if you've been managing this sort of situation for that long, you got enough strength to kind of, like, deal with this new situation.
See? Best advice right there.
He's trying to have his cake and eat it too out here, man. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next, we got Mr. Raymond Jr. Raymond Jr. put his name down. He threw the
Raymond
Jr.
Jr. Say it with your chest. Yes.
Okay. My situation may be different from other questions you get on your show.
I doubt it. We've had quite a few random ones.
Yeah. I am looking for a relationship, but the problem I have is women look down on me because of my situation. I lost my job a few years ago and relocated to another state. Since then, I have been living sort of a minimalist lifestyle, where I stay in a hotel for a few days and live out of my SUV at times. I work a full-time job, I have full health benefits, so it's not like I'm out here just winging life. When I meet someone, I'm upfront about my situation, but women seem to turn their nose up at me. I will never expect a woman to sleep in my car. If she comes back to the hotel I'm staying in, I'm not expecting sex. I have no problem with just kicking back and watching a movie, talking or watching a movie. Why do women say it's not about money, big houses, or materialistic things when that is what they really are looking for? One woman told me she doesn't have time for my building up way of lifestyle. Do you think I'm being judged on my situation? Why am I being portrayed as the bad guy?
Um, listen, those women are allowed to ask for what they want and want what they want, just as equally as he's allowed to want a woman that, understands his lifestyle. So let's just make that clear. You can't judge them for judging you because you're just doing the same that they're doing, then, isn't it?
Yeah,
you,
exactly.
you can't really be mad at them for them knowing what they want and asking for what they want when you're out here asking for what you want in a woman. Yeah.
That's true.
So let's just make that clear. Secondly, you need to maybe look at where you're meeting these women and how you're meeting them, because it seems like you keep meeting the same sort of women. So maybe you need to I don't know if you're really clear about your intention, like what it is that you want, because that's fair enough that you want to live a more free, mobile, minimalist lifestyle. That's fine. If it makes you happy, do you. But you need to be clear about what it is you want from the woman. Do you want someone who equally wants to be free and wants to live an equally mobile and, you know what I mean, different lifestyle like that? Then if that's the case, maybe look at certain dating websites that promote that. Or maybe there's over here in England, and I don't know if you have it, but there's a website called Meetup, where they have loads of different like groups and societies for people that like chess, that like game boards, that like golfing, all these things. Maybe find a group that lives a minimalist lifestyle, that is into that, and then you can start interacting with people who see life the way you do, and therefore you're more likely to meet a woman of a like-minded mindset. So maybe look at who you're interacting with and the places you're going to socialize, and maybe look for, because listen, there are groups and meetups and clubs for everything nowadays.
Yes.
Trust me, brethren. Trust me. And maybe go to places where there's, like whatever your hobbies and interests are, you're more than likely to find someone who's of a similar mindset. Do you know what I mean? Because maybe using typical dating apps isn't the thing for you. Because there's nothing wrong with women who want a man with a house or who lives in one location. They're allowed to ask for that, just as equally as you're allowed to ask for what you want.
See, and that's true. And you got to realize too that today's society is built on everything being about stability. And most women, if they don't feel that your lifestyle is stable, you can't judge them. Like Angelique said, you can't judge them. You just got to take it as that's not a good fit for you. So you got to realize that you got to be fair now, because you want women to be fair about accepting you for your situation. Then you have to be fair about the fact that your situation is not going to be another woman's preference.
Well, yeah. And listen, and by the way, did we forget, women outnumber men? Brethren, are you telling me there's not a single woman out here who don't match you? There are more women on the planet than there are men. There is someone out there for you. It may take time. It may take a bit more patience than the average dating game would, but so be it. You've chosen your lifestyle and you're happy with it. Stick to your guns and maybe just consider where you're socializing, so that maybe you can meet some more people of like-minded, do you know what I mean, mindset. And you have to be careful sometimes when you're out here getting mad at people for judging you without realizing you're also being judgmental yourself.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I mean,
Don't throw rocks in glass houses, you know.
yeah.
You're out here saying, "Oh, they're so judgmental. Can't believe they're judging me." You just is equally judging them. Don't take it personal. People's other people's preferences and opinions and choices ain't got nothing to do with you. Don't take it personal.
Yeah.
They're just not a match for you. Keep it moving. Send them love. Keep it moving.
And that's all it is. It's like everybody has their preference. And you have to, Angelique said it early on too. You have to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Every woman doesn't want to come back to a hotel, especially on the first date, or, it's like, and then their mindset could go to the point of, is he just looking for me to provide a place for him to stay? Not saying that it's what you're doing, but it's going to come across like that. So you got to be mindful and just kind of put yourself in their position of, when you meet somebody, how they're going to perceive it as well, based on your lifestyle. But like Angelique said, there are plenty of minimalist websites out there going. Like, there are people who live in vans full time. That is their life.
Caravans.
Yeah.
boats, like live in a teepee. Like, listen, brethren, what you're doing is not unique. I actually know plenty of people in my circle of friends. One of my friends actually has just literally sold up a house, packed up a house, and taken her 2 children, and now lives in a caravan. And
See?
that's how she loves it. So you're not unique in that sense. There are plenty of people. You just need to look at where you're socializing so you can meet. I think that's the thing. Focus on what you want and not what you don't want. Yeah, and so focus on how you can find that and meet other people of like-minded, do you know what I mean, mindset. And then that way you're more likely to attract someone who understands your lifestyle and wants to live that and share it with you and not judge you for it. But if you're going to go talking to women who, are maybe asking for something differently, you can't get mad at them about that. That's like picking up an apple and asking why it's not an orange. Why ain't you an orange? I'm an apple, dude. Like, what do you want from me? The same way you're minimalist. You know what I mean? It's like, don't take it personal that they don't like what you like. Find people that do and talk to them and interact with them, and more than likely you're going to hit it off with someone of a like-minded view.
Exactly.
Go find your tribe, my friend. Find your tribe.
Oh, what's our next one? New Soul.
Okay, new soul.
Greetings, Simply Straight Talk Show. I'm so glad that you are answering questions. Love, love, love how open you are on the show. Here's my story and question. Getting straight to the point. I spent 18 years in prison for drug trafficking and burglary. I want to be upfront about my situation. While I was in prison, I met someone through a pen pal program, and after I got out, we stayed together for a year and a half, and then we got married. He has been such an emotional stabilizer for me. He helped me to start a bakery business, which is doing very well, but I feel like I am holding him back. Because of my past, because my past hinders our ability to travel due to my probation, and we have to jump through so many hoops to do things even outside of the state we live in. My past also causes some problems as far as places who will do business with us. Some people who I knew when I went to jail try to judge me or always bring up my past. He always reminds me that we are a team and we stand together. I guess I'm just trying to figure out how to escape my past and hold on to the happiness I have without fear of my past.
The answer is you cannot escape your past. Your past is your past, and it's also made you who you are today. It's from your past choices and decisions that you've grown and you've learned. And as much as sometimes we'd like to erase and hit delete
Yeah.
on certain choices and experiences and memories, we can't, because if we did, then you wouldn't be you, and your partner wouldn't love you for you. He met you while you was in prison, so he's under no illusion who you were and also who you are now. He's seen your growth and your transition. The only person who is not happy with you is you. And like I said before with the previous question, don't focus on the people that aren't for you. They're irrelevant. Regardless whether you went to prison or not, there's gonna be somebody or someone who's gonna have an issue with you with something. I don't like your face. I don't like your color. I don't like, your cultural beliefs, whatever. So you're not gonna be able to please everybody, and having obstacles, which I understand make it difficult, like not being able to travel because of your probation and things. That's life. Like, please be under no illusion that everyone else isn't out here facing an obstacle in some shape or form or the other. Sometimes they're self-made obstacles, and sometimes, they're obstacles because of, like, for you, your circumstance. But what you need to do is make peace with you and accept the fact that because of your journey, you are who you are and you met your partner. If you didn't go to prison, you wouldn't have met your partner. So don't try to eradicate something that has made you who you are and has given you the gifts of the life that you've got now. Try and focus on the people that are for you. Anyone who judges you, forget them. They're not for you. You don't waste your time on other people that aren't for you. Your partner's right, you are a team, and that does mean you battle together, you face the obstacles together, and you take the hardships together. But so long as you focus on the fact that you have a roof over your head, you have a partner who loves you, who continuously reminds you as a team. Trust me when I tell you, that's a very rare thing, to use the word team and partnership.
Yeah.
In a relationship. That's a really beautiful gift you got there. And if that's all your life ever amounts up to, trust me when I tell you that is a beautiful thing.
Exactly. And the thing you got to realize is with the internet, there's no escaping nothing these days. And I'm sure she's probably found out by now that anybody can put your name in Google, and anything you've done has ever will pop up that's on the internet, especially anything that's public records. Unfortunately, here in the United States, anytime you go to prison or you get arrested, it is public records, and it's available for anybody. So, and this is an unforgiving country. It's an unforgiving world. Once you've been labeled, that stigma sticks with you. But you just got to be confident, stay strong in your relationship. And like Angelique said, don't worry about what other people say. Don't worry about what other people think. Keep running your bakery. You say it's doing well. Focus on your product. Keep providing the service. And I'm telling you, it'll work out.
Yeah, focus on what is working for you. Focus on the things that you do have that is what you love and enjoy and is working for you, and stay in that lane. Anyone who isn't for you is not meant for you, so it's kind of irrelevant wasting your time on them. Any business that doesn't want to work for you, they weren't meant to work for you.
Exactly.
Sometimes you face 100 closed doors before you find the one right open door, and you don't focus on the no's, you focus on the yeses. It's just the balance of life. You're going to get as many no's as you probably will get yeses. It's just that as human beings, we tend to focus on the no's. You know what I mean? And discount the yeses that we did get. So just be careful to maintain the right perspective and focus on what you do have. And don't try to change your past or judge yourself for it. Do you know what I mean? Be kind to yourself. Own your decisions. Own your past mistakes. And I say this as someone who is still working on that myself, so I don't say it flippantly. Like, oh, it's easy, just do it. No, I'm still working on that myself. But I have to remind myself of that. It's like my choices made me who I am, and I've grown as a result. And actually, has allowed me to do X, Y, Z as a result. So just remind yourself of the benefit and what growth you've gained as of what you've been through, and focus on that.
There you go. And you stay strong.
Yeah, man.
New soul. Next, oh God, the woman.
Okay, we got another one like power. Was it powerful woman?
I think you. Hold on, because these are just copy and pasted from the email. So,
the woman.
The woman.
I love that. I am.
I'm surprised she didn't say I am the woman. The woman. I wonder why I say the woman.
Because she's the woman. Don't question it. That ain't the question.
Okay, the woman. I would like to know why guys think it's okay to get an attitude when a woman wants to respond to them or speak. Do men realize how many times women are hit on daily, when sometimes we just want to live in our moment? If I am at the gym, it's to work out. If I'm reading in the park or at a cafe, I am not looking to entertain anyone or be entertained. It's like men in general have no respect guidelines for women. Angelique.
Oh, God, no.
Do you feel the same way, or how do you deal with it? Reggie. Why the fuck you going to be putting me in bullshit for? Why are men so selfish and petty? Because they have no ability to utilize timing and common sense when it comes to approaching women.
Okay. Angelique's going to say... Oh, girl, it's some bullshit. I hate that shit too. Okay, so first of all, I do feel you on that, but I need to clarify something. We have to be very careful not to use the word, why do all men? It's not all men. Let's not exaggerate. Yeah, I get, especially if you're a good-looking, beautiful woman, you probably do get approached regularly, and it's frustrating, like you said, when you're trying to go for a walk or you're at the gym and it's not appropriate and a man gets in space. I've had that. I don't like it, and I am very clear about that when I speak to the man. And sometimes I'm a little bit ignorant. But it's my prerogative. You also have to be clear. It's not all men. Please don't brandish that. Don't be very careful to wave around because this is what I say. People don't say words have power. So if you're going to use the word all men, you will manifest more of that same bullshit. And then you'll get mad at why the universe is delivering more bullshit to you when you keep brandishing certain words. There is power in the tongue, isn't it? They say.
Yeah.
In the Bible, I'm not particularly religious, but I'm sure I've heard that somewhere. There is power in the word and mouth, right? So be careful about what you're saying. That is all men. It's not all men. It's those select few who, don't have a sense of timing, are a little bit brave, and maybe they like what they see and they go after it. So in a way, it's you have to take it as a compliment. That's what I try to do, to be honest with you, and it doesn't always work. Is remind myself as a compliment that they found me so beautiful or intriguing that they had to come over and talk to me. Yeah, and it's a compliment. Because I guarantee you, if I flipped it around on you and said, what happened if no one would talk to you? You'd be begging for someone to talk to you at the gym. and you were sitting in a park. Do you see what I mean? So we have to be careful about not dismissing the little blessings that you're getting. It's a sign of it's a compliment, even if it is coming from people you don't want to talk to. It's still a compliment, because if the tables were turned and no one was talking to you, for instance, we had that question earlier from the lonely girl. She would love for someone to talk to her.
See?
And come up to her and not talk to her friends. I'm guarantee you lonely girls listen to your question like, well, at least you got someone talking to you at the gym. Do you see what I mean? The grass is not, you got to remember that. For someone else, your grass is greener than theirs. So I get it, it's a hindrance when it's at a time when maybe you want a bit of solo time. I feel you, girl. I've had it. It's not nice. But be careful about what you say, because, hey, you don't want to be on the other end of the spectrum where no one is talking to your ass and you're asking for just one person to look at you. Do you see what I mean? And it's not all men, it's those select few. Just ignore them, keep it moving, and just give thanks that you're obviously attractive enough and beautiful enough and intriguing enough that someone wants to come over to you when you're on that treadmill. That's what I will say.
I would say.
Don't swear now.
Okay. Men are not selfish and petty. Some men, as Angelique said, are just brave. And some men see the opportunity and they just take it because they feel like it's a good chance. Now, their timing may not be the best, but as long as they do it respectful, and if you say no, they break off, that's what should happen. But sometimes a man just want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Sometimes a man just wants to know that if he says something to a woman, that she will be okay with him saying something without her getting the attitude, thinking that just because he said hey, that he ain't trying to say hey to her. He ain't trying to talk to her. Every man ain't trying to sleep with you. Every man ain't trying to get your phone number. Every man ain't trying to go to bed with you. Some men just trying to be polite.
Mm-hmm. And say hey, because you were beautiful, and I wanted to say that.
That's it.
That is a fair point. Yeah, that's another thing we have to bear in mind. Not every man that talks to you is trying to get in your pants. Sometimes it's a case that they just saw you and wanted to say that you were beautiful. And I've been lucky enough to have those moments. And sometimes I've had to humble myself because I've been ignorant. Oh, sorry. My bad. I don't actually want your number. I just wanted to say you was beautiful. It's like, oh, my bad. I feel like a dickhead now. So as a result of having some of those circumstances come back and bite me on the backside because of my ignorant attitude, I've just learned to just be like, no, thank you, not right now, and just keep it moving and just take it as the compliment as it is. Yeah, just because they talk to you doesn't mean you have to like take them up on their offer, which obviously you don't. And just be careful not to say the word all men, because no woman likes it when they say, why do all women? So just be careful about your wording choice, because you'll end up manifesting more of that craziness as well.
Yeah, and in all fairness, because Angelique did school me, it was like months ago, we had a conversation. It was something. Because I mentioned to her about, like, when I go to the grocery store, sometimes I say, hey, and, like, a woman won't speak. And she did tell me, like, she kind of explained to me how sometimes guys, if a woman just says hi, the guy is automatically like, oh, well, she want to get married. You know, the guy, he can't just take a hello as a hello. Some guys do get like, oh, she spoke back, so that means definitely she wants to get with me. So that's something I had to understand too. And that maybe it was a jerk that came before me and was a bit rude and a bit aggressive with her. So in me just coming by and innocently saying hello, she's still fresh from that situation. So guys, we gotta kind of be mindful of the fact that when a woman doesn't speak, just let it go, and do consider the fact that, and we know it because we do it. I mean, call it what it is, you know. Yeah. She can walk down the store and get hit on 5 times by 5 different guys.
Yeah.
You know, so we got to kind of be patient with that too.
Yeah, I think patience needs to be used on all sides. Do you see what I mean? Like, careful not to brandish that all men do it, because they don't. I know it's a hassle and it's not nice when you're not, it's unwanted attention. But there are some people that would die for it. So I'm not saying that you should just be grateful for every attention, but just keep in mind not to have too much of a slanted perspective on it, is what I'm trying to say. And just have some patience that, like, it's not all men, and at least, you know, it's a compliment that they wanted to talk to you. Just say no thank you, keep it moving.
Exactly. All right. Financially free.
Hey, cha-ching for you. Love it.
Let me get your thoughts on my hating people. Okay. Right. Financially free.
She coming out the gate shooting.
Yes, she is. My wife and I. Oh, that's a man. My wife and I decided to open. Sorry, financially free.
Oh, did you? Oh, so someone else here was assuming and judging that you thought it was a woman.
It was a woman.
Judgmental
Oh, man.
much.
My wife and I have decided to open up our diner. We are so happy because it will be the only black-owned restaurant within 20 miles of our community.
Boop, 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 go on.
There you go. Everyone is so negative about black business owners. We have had... Oh, yeah, we laughing because me and Angelique got a little...
I feel bad now. Woo, my bad.
Yeah.
Continue the question, Reggie. Hey.
We have had a couple of setbacks with food items and wait times, but we are not a bad business, and it takes a lot of work and courage to start your own business. It just bothers me when I hear black people putting down black-owned businesses. How can we get people to understand the struggles of black businesses and support us?
All right.
Open a can of worms.
All right, I'm going to openly hold my hands up and admit this. I, last week, was cussing black business owners. But I need to clarify, I was cussing poorly run businesses owned by black people. Because there are plenty of businesses that are actually run by black people that are successful and done well. I also acknowledge the fact that it is hard to start your own business. You are brave and bold. I salute you. It is not easy running any form of a business, whether it's just a one-man band or a restaurant as they're doing, because there's so much to it that most people that just do a normal 9-to-5 job don't understand that it entails. But my thing would be is, again, don't focus on the haters, including myself, who was out here cussing off black business owners. Focus on the people that are for you, and just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, there's anything that you start brand new, there's going to be lots of a learning curve, a steep learning curve, and lots of failures and mistakes and lessons and successes and triumphs. So just keep doing what you're doing. My only advice from the consumer end is really focus on customer service and really look into how you can make your business run efficiently, and to enhance the customer service, because it is all about the customer. So if you're struggling with delivery times, really look at the delivery drivers you're using. Maybe the route and logistics of how that's being run isn't being done properly. So maybe look at a way that you can logistically manage the delivery times better. Like, really look at the systems you have in place for your food, like from the cooking to the counter. Really look at the efficiency of the sort of the process of when the food's made to it being delivered to to the order being taken and so forth. Really look at that and try your best to also speak to other people who are running successful businesses. Doesn't matter if they're black and white. And this is the thing. I love the fact that we've got black-owned businesses, but a good business is a good business. So if you see someone in your area or someone no matter their color, running a successful business within your industry, ask them questions. Put your pride to the side and ask them questions about what systems they have in place and what they are doing well, so you can then implement that in your business so that you can do what you do well as a black business owner. But if we all want to just kind of put our nose up in the air and be like, no, I'm not talking to anybody who ain't black, fair enough. Find someone who is black and owns a successful black business run restaurant business and ask them for advice. But it doesn't just have to be black. Speak to someone who runs a successful business and get advice, is what I'm trying to say, so that you can be the best at what you do. And I think that's where a lot of black businesses suffer. They're very prideful, and I'm all for a bit of pride, but not at the expense that you're cutting off your nose to spite your face, and now your business is floundering. When you could maybe ask Joe and Sally next door who's white or Hispanic or Asian, and they're running a business well, ask them what they're doing and implement it, and then you can be the best at what you want to be.
I agree, and I'm not gonna lie. I never talk bad about black-owned businesses.
They're lies. Is your nose growing? I feel your nose growing, Pinocchio. You're just gonna be out here throwing a lady overboard by herself. You lying son of a bitch.
No, I am right there with Angelique. It's just tough because you want to. I think everybody wants to support black-owned businesses, but let's be honest. A lot of black-owned businesses, like Angelique said, they struggle with logistics. They really do. A lot of them, when they start out, they try to go so low in that the wait times are normally long. Food items are not there. So it's just little things that black-owned business need to work on. And like I tell people, like if you want to start a restaurant, go back and watch what was it, Gordon Ramsay's, what was it, Kitchen Nightmares? And don't focus on the yelling, but listen to what he's telling these restaurants they need to do. And see how you can implement that into your restaurant. Train your staff on customer service. Like all of this stuff you need to do so you can have a restaurant that is successful and you don't get bad reviews. And I think that's just the big thing. I mean, people normally love the food with black restaurants. It's normally just the service.
Yeah, and what people forget is the service as well as the food. Like I feel like the golden triangle of a good business is great customer service, great quality of food, and just kind of like, what was it? I said it the other day. Oh, and great decor in the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a nicely decorated restaurant. Yeah, I feel like there's a golden triangle that will leave people leaving you a 5-star review. And just think about it and put yourself in the consumer's shoe. We've all been a consumer. We've all gone to a restaurant and ordered food. So we all know what we do and don't like to experience in a restaurant. And think about those things that have made it special for you in those restaurants that you've enjoyed and implement that in your own business. And like Reggie said, start small if you need to. Maybe simplify your menu so that you're not overrun with too much orders. Yeah. Maybe make your delivery area smaller so that you can cope with the amount of orders, and that you can, because if you don't have the funds to hire many delivery guys and men and women, then maybe make your delivery area smaller so that you don't have to hire so many people to deliver the food. And maybe don't do delivery to start off with. Maybe just do collection only, eat in only, and then once you've built up enough business and money, then expand to delivery. Like try not to do too much at once because you're eager to be a success. Everything takes time and everything works in stages. So maybe start off smaller and simpler and make sure you get that down to a T. Do you know what I mean? Before you upgrade and evolve your business, like get the basics done and down to a T so that it's on point. When people order the food, you know what I mean? There's someone who's polite greeting them. There's someone who's knowledgeable about the menu. There's a good chef that delivers food quality consistently. Do you know what I mean? There's a manager that's overrunning this. You've got a good delivery guy who knows the area, is good at navigating, geographically knows where he's delivering to, and is polite and is a good driver. Do you know what I mean? Like, make sure everything is quality and done to a T before you expand to something bigger. Start small, then scale up.
Exactly. Don't try to become a mega business.
Not out the gate. You can build to that, but start off at step 1, not step 10, people. Because it's the learning curves between step 1 and 10 is what you learn that allow you to then, when you're at step 10, be that 10, because you've gone through those steps and learned.
Yeah, I think, and that's just the big thing. It's like,
and don't be afraid to ask for advice.
Yes.
Ask. You want to know something, if you don't know it, because there's a lot of things you don't know when you're learning a business. Ask the people who are running a business successfully that you admire. Ask them. Get advice. Take it, implement it, trial it, see what works. What doesn't work, scrap it, and move on.
There you go. But we support y'all.
That's the thing. I said to Reggie, I would love nothing more than to see more successfully run black businesses. But it pains me when the customer service is poor and you get attitude from the staff and the delivery is 2 hours late. It's like, really? And it breaks my heart because I want to support. But if you don't take the time to really research and implement a clear, efficient system to run your business, it's going to collapse.
Exactly. So we support y'all. We're not hating.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So, financially free. We want you to be successful.
We love that. Keep going, though. Keep going.
Yeah. Send me the name of your business, and, we'll shout you out on the show.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah. And if you got a website, please make sure it's a website. Don't
Don't what?
Don't make it be a LinkedIn link or a Facebook page.
Or an Instagram page.
Yeah.
But that's the new thing, though. Over here in London, I don't know about America, but we've got loads of pop-up small restaurant businesses who are operating from Instagram, And it's working.
But make sure it's professional looking.
Yes.
I don't want to see people twerking.
Yeah. If it's a business page, make it a business page.
Make it a business page.
If you want to do all that stuff, make it on a separate, personal account, innit?
Exactly.
You can't have like food menus and food pictures and then a picture of you and your wife twerking or some madness or some random repost of a random inappropriate video. They ain't got shit to do with the business. Like, it's just not. It's confusing.
Yeah, and
Make
no
sure the
marijuana.
brand message is clean. Yeah, no marijuana. Keep the marijuana separate.
Keep it separate. Keep it business, like Angelique said. Keep it business. Oh. All right, anonymous. Hey guys, I wanted to know what advice you would give me about staying motivated. I'm speaking of self-motivation. I'm looking for some new techniques to motivate myself about my health and just staying on track. It can be so discouraging, and I get so tired of the fake motivation from the people around me. If you can share with me any tips you may have. Short and sweet.
Hey, I would say you need to look at why you're doing what you're doing. So if that was quite a vague question in the sense of healthy lifestyle. Are you trying to go vegan, lose weight, try different exercise? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
But regardless, really think about what your reason is behind the why, because the only way you'll keep going and doing what it is that you're trying to achieve is if you connect with the why you're doing it. And it needs to be a real reason. It can't be because I want to lose weight for the summer. It can't be because I want to look pretty for so and so. It needs to be a real reason that's going to carry you through longevity. For example, me personally, I am conscious of the food I eat, and I like to exercise 4 to 5 times a week because I want to stay strong and fit and healthy for the future children I hope to have. I also want to feel good within my body, energy-wise, so that when I wake up energetically and mentally, I'm clear of my mind. And yeah, I just want to age with grace, really, and so that I can enjoy all of life has to offer me. So when I travel and do things, there's no aches and pains, illnesses. Do you see what I mean? So sometimes when I slip up, and that's the other thing, be kind to yourself. It's okay that you're gonna maybe stumble and fall a little and eat the pizza, eat the donut, drink the drink, whatever. Not go to the gym this week. That's okay. Be kind to yourself and just know that it's a lifestyle, meaning this is an everyday for life thing. It's not just for summer or a holiday. It needs to be for life, and that in itself will mean that you pace yourself. If you're doing it for life, there doesn't need to be, it all needs to be done today and I have to be perfect at it today. You're not perfect. Life is not perfect. Therefore, there's going to be ups and downs. So pace yourself, be kind to yourself in the ups and downs, and have fun. Do things that are fun. Make sure the stuff that you're doing and eating is fun. Make your food colorful, make your activities varied, and therefore you'll be more likely to want to keep doing it and have fun with it. Have fun. Why so serious?
I agree with Angelique, and I would say just make sure that I know, because he mentioned that fake motivation from the people around you. You may need to change the people around you. Like even the people you follow on social media, people you follow on YouTube, just look for people who post and do motivational stuff, because the more that you get popping into your social media life, that'll help as well.
Yeah, quality.
Yes.
Quality. Vet the people you're talking to and you're interacting with, the videos you're watching, and get intentional about it. What is it you want to see? How do you want to feel? And research that and Google it. So Google like people that are about hope, faith, belief, I don't know, whatever it is that you're into, that you want to see. Get specific about that and then research that, and you'll find people that are on that same wavelength, so that you can watch their YouTube, read their books. You know what I mean? And if it's in terms of, if you're talking about the people that are like fake motivational, if you're talking about people around you, then again you need to look at the circle that you're hanging around with. Maybe spend less time with them, and again, like I said earlier to another question, find a group of people with the mindset that you have or you want to have and hang with them. Talk to them. Interact with them.
Yes. It makes a big difference.
It does.
A big difference.
Yeah.
Now we have Private Guy.
Okay. Well, you ain't so private if you're putting a question on a podcast. That's strange.
I think this question more for Angelique.
Okay.
Okay. Well, excuse me then. I ain't gonna answer your funky ass question.
Taking it personal much? I call it a funky ass question,
I ain't gotta answer your question. You ain't gotta include me. I'm involved in a long distance relationship with a wonderful woman in the Greenhitta? Greenhight?
Greenhive.
Where is that?
That's
Greenhithe.
Spell it for me.
Greenhithe.
Yeah, yeah, Greenhithe. That's a town in South London. If he's talking about London.
Like I don't know about London. I know all about London. Talking about
If he's
this only for Angelique. I know about London. We have decided that we want to be together, so I'm in the process of moving up to the UK
Oh, Greenhithe, South London. Whoa, that's actually 20 minutes from me, you know.
in November of this year.
Hey.
I am nervous about the transition, finding work that is stable, and the cost of living. She works at a till. A till? What the hell is a till?
Keep reading the rest of the question. She works at a till, what?
She works at a till in various places. I guess he didn't want to give a job. What's a till?
I don't know.
I don't know what a till is.
I don't know what that means. Sorry.
I gotta look that up.
How's it spelled? T-I-L-L?
Yeah.
Till usually means like a cash till, cash register at a supermarket or something like that.
Oh.
That's what I would assume, but maybe he means something different.
That might be what it is. People gonna say Reggie's stupid.
But he said no, because he's not really clear. Like a till, and he said at various locations. So
It sounds like he's not trying to give her a job out.
that's fair enough. Okay, so she's got a job. That's all we know. Cool.
Okay, I can respect that.
Yeah.
Okay, we video chat and talk every day. Let's see. Okay, I guess these are the questions for me, because I'm gonna answer your question, private guy.
Especially because you couldn't pronounce Greenhithe. Yeah, you do that.
Are jobs easy to get, and how do I get around the city? I can answer that. She doesn't have a car, and is it too expensive to? She doesn't have a car, and it's too expensive to bring his car from the U.S. Oh yeah, that would be expensive. Yeah. Also, how do I get a driver's license? I can tell you that. Any other information you can share would be helpful. She believes everything will work out easy, but I will be in a different country, and I know there will be some challenges. Any advice will help for transitioning to the UK from the US. Okay.
So I feel anything is as challenging as you think it's going to be. Life is definitely going to throw you challenges, but if you go into it with the mindset it's going to be hard, it's going to make it a lot harder for you. So I would say that for starters. I'm not saying that you should be like, it's going to be easy breezy, but tell yourself, whatever comes my way, I can manage it, and I will cross whatever bridges I need to when or if I get to them. Try not to create mountains before you even got to them, because there may not be some problems with certain things, and there may be challenges with others. But my first point is, try not to create mountains out of molehills before you've even reached the place. Secondly, you in London, and Greenhithe is in southeast London for those in America, whoop whoop, which is where I'm based, is imagine London to be like New York. So it's actually easier to get around by public transport than it is to drive. Plenty of people drive. I drive myself, but sometimes it's actually easier to get public transport to get around in London. Public transport, I was telling this to Reggie, because I sent you a tube map, didn't I, Reggie?
Yep.
And the tube map is what you would call our subway system. Is very, very comprehensive. It's massive. And you could easily live in London and never drive, and you'd be fine. Obviously, there's certain circumstances, maybe like when you're going to the supermarket, or you're picking up furniture, or you want to go maybe on a long distance journey where a car would be ideal. But to live in the heart of London, you do not need a car. It's actually, I wouldn't say it's cheap, but if you get a job here, you know what I mean? It kind of balances itself out. To get a driver's license, that's the thing. That's the difference between America and England. This is one thing I will say. America is way bigger, hence why you need a car, and it's a necessity to drive in England. In London specifically, it's not a necessity to drive. So don't stress about that. But that doesn't mean you can't get one if you want one. Getting a license, I will be honest, I don't know what the process is for someone who's not of UK nationality. But in the UK, to get a license, you would need to basically take some lessons here, so you're accustomed with driving on a different side of the road and our different highway codes and driving rules. You would then take a theoretical test, which has, from last time I checked, 50 questions. No, 60 or 70. And you need to it has about 70 to 80 questions, and you need to get 50 right, a minimum of 50 to pass. Then there's the practical driving. And then once you've done that, you get the license, basically. I think in total, The ferry costs, actually, I don't even know now. It might be, because I passed years ago. The ferry is probably about 70 to 90 pounds, and the actual driving practical test is about the same. But don't quote me on that because I passed in 2012. And in terms of jobs, I think it's no different from any other city, my friend. It's a metropolis city. There's definitely plenty of jobs, always. It just depends on what you're qualified in and what you want to work in. And it's a case of applying until you get that yes. It's no different for applying from a job in the US or Europe. If you're qualified in something or you've got previous experience and you want to continue working in that field, obviously apply for those jobs, and it'll be a process of elimination. Do you know what I mean? Until you get that yes for a job. And maybe apply for jobs that you've got experience in, because you're more likely to get a yes, do you know what I mean, and be picked up for a job like that than if you're going for a completely brand new field. But yeah, what I'm saying, the cost of living here, I don't know, in some ways we're cheaper here compared to the US, and in other ways we're probably a bit more expensive. I think you guys cost of food in terms of grocery store, you get more for your money than we do. But then again, we eat differently. We eat less over here. We're not really about the surplus and big sort of portions compared to America. So I don't know. My main thing is to say, if you and your girl are a team and you just remind yourself that I will cross the bridges if and when I get to it, and remind yourself you're a capable, intelligent man, it's going to be no different from moving from a different city in the US than it is to here. Obviously, the cultural differences you'll have to learn, but that will be part of the fun and the adventure. So just think of it as an adventure, and hopefully I send you all the best. But that's hopefully giving you some information. Hopefully.
See?
But well done for being brave.
Yeah. Even though you didn't want my advice, but...
Oh, what you going to tell them, Reggie? Hmm? But then again, I've given you a lot of information about London. So you give me one fact about London that I've told you. Let's see if you're actually listening when I talk to you.
They love to drink.
That is actually a good point. They do love to drink here.
Hey, and you can be drunk on the streets and won't get in trouble.
Yes, that is also a very good point. Yeah, and that's true. You're legally allowed to drink on street here publicly, and no one won't say shit to you. The police will not arrest you. It's not illegal. And if you get on drunken behaviour, so long as you're not harming yourself really badly or anyone else, they will just leave you to it. Police don't give a shit about that.
Now, keep in mind, we're talking about London, not the United States.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't go out there drinking and get shot.
No, yeah, please don't. Yeah, no. And also, our police don't walk around with guns. Just batons. Our police don't have guns, so don't worry about it.
See. But good luck to you.
Good luck, man, and congrats.
So I hope things work out for you and your lady friend, and you guys be safe. So, but please take her advice. If you got any more questions, I don't know, if you want to send them, we can.
Feel free, and I'll answer them the best that I can, to my knowledge.
Yeah. Next one, nameless. How can I work through the feelings of being behind in life? I am 38 years old, and I feel as if my life has not progressed and that I have wasted so much time. It feels like everyone else has accomplished so much more than me. My sisters and brothers all seem to be so stable in their life. My friends say I am too old to be still looking for my purpose. What are your thoughts? Parts of me feel like everybody's content living in a box where somebody else controls their destiny. I want to be in control of my own destiny.
All right now.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, congrats on at least being clear about that. I don't think you're as lost as you think you are. You're very clear about the fact that you want to do things for yourself. So you do have direction. I think you're just being a little bit hard on yourself, and you're doing that whole comparison.
Yes.
Which is, we know, the thief of all joy. Because when you compare, you know what I mean, to other people, you're always going to come up short because you're not them. And by the way, as human beings, with the way our brain is wired, we never compare to make ourselves feel better. We never go, I am so much better looking than that person. Sometimes we do, but 9 times out of 10, let's be real, Reggie, we go, look at them, they live in a house, they seem so happy, I'm such a bum, I'm lonely. We do it to make ourselves feel better. So you've got to find a way to kind of switch the pity party perspective, because otherwise you're just adding more fuel to your own fire. And judging yourself for the fact that you've wasted time and all these things that's a waste of time. because you can't change your choices this far. You cannot change the past. And also, as I've said in a different previous answer, your past has made you who you are, and it's also given you clarity. Some people, you know what I mean? Me personally, I have done a million and one jobs. When I tell you, I am do you know what I mean? Jack of all trades, master of some. Yeah, I've been a wedding planner, a nail technician. I've been a loan shark. I've been a delivery driver. I've been an Uber driver. I've been a chauffeur driver. I've been a PA. What else? I've been a call center agent. Like I've done in my 36 years of life. I've been a paper delivery girl. That was my very first job. um, I've done many, but I've actually enjoyed some of them and learned a lot from all of them. And I don't think there's one path for any one person. Just because some of your friends and family seem content or clear or doing what they're doing, it's kind of irrelevant. That's their path. If you're clear about the fact that you want to work on for yourself or want to do things for yourself, then do that. Take the time to figure out what makes you tick. Maybe you're not asking the right questions. If you ask the wrong questions, you will get the wrong answers. So maybe ask yourself, what do you enjoy? What makes you spark? What can you do for hours and end obsessively? There's always something that you enjoy to do that you would just dismiss as a hobby, when actually that's probably the thing that you could actually invest in and make that your career or your money earner or your passion or your life skill or whatever. Think about what it is that you enjoy. Think about what brings you joy, what makes you feel good, and do more of that. And eventually it will lead you to your thing. And something that I personally believe, everyone likes to say, oh, what's that one purpose? I don't think we're just as one-dimensional as that. I think there are many things that you'll do across your whole lifetime and experience and try that will develop you as a human being. You're here to live and experience, to do that.
Exactly.
And don't do it based on what other people believe. Just because people are looking at you and don't want to live your lifestyle, again, it's just as irrelevant as you looking at them and living their lifestyle. It's both irrelevant on both ends of the spectrum. What someone else has to say about your life is irrelevant. They're not you. Just keep doing what makes you happy. Keep focusing on what you need to do that makes you happy, what you enjoy, and do more of that. And yeah, just make sure you're doing stuff for you that makes you happy, that when you wake up you're excited to do or that you're looking forward to do. And my friend, you're living the best life you can live, because guarantee you those people you're looking at that seem so settled are fucking miserable. Do not look at the surface, because a lot of the time people that you think are living a very happy, bliss life really hate their life and they wish they were you.
That is true. That is true. I would say just don't focus on so much on feeling like you're so behind in life that you miss out on life now. Because that's what a lot of people do. They get so caught up in I'm behind in life, and they just go crazy, driving themselves crazy, doubting themselves, that all of a sudden life will pass you by because you stop living. So don't stop living. Keep, like Angelique said, keep just living, doing things that you're passionate about, exploring your creativity, and but just don't feel like you're behind in life, because what is behind in life? That's
what I mean. What is the marker? Who sets the standard? You set the standard for your life, and that's the other thing people need to remember. It's your life. Keyword: your life. So you set the benchmark. You set the goal. You set the standard. Fuck everybody else. It doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. They're not you. They're not the one that has to wake up in your shoes, in your body, in your mind, in your spirit. Live your life for you based on what you want to do, and keep living and trying things. Because if you don't try, you won't know. And it could be the 1,000 things you've tried will be the thing that lights you up and, sets you on whatever you need to do in your life and your path. Keep trying.
There you go. Keep it moving. Don't stop.
Keep it moving. Don't stop. Keep it moving.
Next, we got another anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
My friend has been going through a lot lately, and they have turned to spirit cards and other psychic stuff to get answers for their life problems. I am totally against it, and our friendship is starting to come to an end because I refuse to support that type of stuff. I feel like it's a scam, and I also think it would create problems that he won't be able to control. That stuff can open doors to evil. My friend also started to get attached to Wiccan groups, and of course they are not fond of me because I speak up about them participating in that stuff. Am I wrong for trying to be a friend? Should I just let my friend do whatever they want and just step away? I don't want to go too far because I'm afraid they may use some of that stuff on me. Ah.
No one's ever wrong for trying to be a friend. But you already kind of answered your own question. You said, I'm worried about him going down that path and then dealing with things that are out of his control. The keyword out of his control, i.e., your friend is out of your control. You are not here to tell your friend what they should and shouldn't do. You're here to support them in their choices, whether you get them or not. Because I guarantee you there's been plenty of things that you've done or choices you've made, big or small, that your friend has not understood. Your job is not here to tell your friend what he shouldn't do or what he can and can't do. That's for him to discover for himself. Obviously, you want your friends to be safe, and you're more than welcome to just voice your opinion. Say, hey, just be careful. You know, I love you. I want you to be safe, but I'm here for you. I support you, and just be there for them. That's what a friend is to be there for their friend. It's not to kind of direct their life or stop them from doing stuff even if you see it's going to end in a car crash. And it's easier said than done. I appreciate that, especially when it's someone that you really care for and you want them to be well and safe. But life is about stepping out, experiencing it, and feeling things. And sometimes certain things will be painful and some things will be joyful. If the path he's choosing results in what maybe you might consider a bad outcome, that's for him to learn, feel, and then experience and learn from. And then you never know, this path might be the thing that elevates him and makes him happy. Again, what makes me happy isn't what makes Reggie happy. Ain't gonna be what make you happy. Like, life is 4-dimensional. It's more than 4 dimensions, obviously. It's multi-dimensional, and it's multi-layered, and people come in all shapes and sizes, and their choices about how they. I mean, we just had a guy who says he lives in his SUV in hotels. I don't want to do that, but brethren, if it makes him happy, go true.
There you go.
So long as your friend genuinely is happy or is trying to seek happiness, let them figure that out for themselves and just be someone who there is providing a support and encouraging space of love. If they come back to you and goes, man, I shouldn't have done that, you just say to them, hey, at least you know now. What do we do moving forward? What do you want to do? And provide love and support and no judgment and compassion. Because, again, flip the shoe on the other foot. If you wanted to do something that you was passionate about or you was serious about and your friend was like, I think that's bad, it's evil, but how would you feel about that?
See, that's true. It's kind of tough because like I don't do the tarot cards and Ouija boards and psychic stuff and all of that. I get what she's saying because I do believe that if you play around with that stuff, you can open a door that you can't close. The Wiccan groups, there are different types of Wiccan groups. As long as he's not doing, like, he's not out here trying to cut off chicken heads and drinking blood.
Or harm somebody or harm himself, yeah.
I mean, because some of those Wiccan groups, now I'm not, okay, first of all, let me clear this up, because I know somebody out there right now talking about, oh, they do witchcraft. No, listen. This is not expressing support or non-support. This is just a non-judgmental point of view. When you do some of the research, some of the Wiccan groups are just about love and light. Whereas,
nature.
Yeah. And other parts of those groups really are about the whole witchcraft thing. So try to give him a little room to grow and understand. You know, that's probably the best you can do is just kind of step back, let him do his thing. You don't have to participate in what he's doing.
Yeah, he ain't asking you to.
No. So you just be a friend. You know, because he may eventually say, hey, it's not for me. Or he may find that it is a place where he feels like he gets a home. But when a person is looking for answers to their life, sometimes they will look in places where you may feel like that's not a good place. But for him, he may feel like I can find answers here.
Yeah, and the key word is that it's his path.
Exactly.
I appreciate that fact that you are wary of that, you know, all those things. I agree with Reggie. Me personally, I might delve in spirituality up to a certain point, but I'm the same. I don't deal with Ouija boards. I'm not really interested in witchcraft and things. But there's also an element that also I'm educated about it. So the things that I don't know about, I try not to have an opinion about. I'll be honest with you. Now maybe she has researched it and she still decides I don't like that stuff. That's fine. That's your prerogative. But the key word is that is your prerogative. That is your opinion. That's your choice. Unless he's forcing you to join him on these experiences and these things, baby girl, you've expressed your opinion. The rest is down to him. You understand? Like unless he's asking you to join these things, or you feel like he's a danger to society, you need to just leave him be and let him figure out what works for him and what doesn't. You know, and like I said, different horses for different courses, different ways of living life, man. And you're not always going to understand other people's, but your job is not actually to understand other people. Like the same way, it's not my job to understand everyone else. Like I don't need to do that because I'm not you. I just need to respect it. You don't need to understand, you just need to respect the fact that he's a grown man and he's making his own choices. You know, and sometimes that's easier said than done. And also understanding that sometimes as friends, we grow apart as we change because people change. That is part of life. People are so scared about change and losing people, but actually that is the nature of life. We don't freak out when the winter season comes and the leaves fall off the tree. Oh, it's dying. No, it's a change of season, people. The leaves have to die to make space for the new. Yeah, so if we don't freak out about the cycles of nature, don't freak out about the cycles of life. Sometimes your friends change and grow and evolve into different people and you grow apart and you meet new people. Or sometimes you grow apart and then you come back together. But the fact is, change is inevitable. Try not to try and stifle it and fight it so much and take it personal. Do you know what I mean? And just go with it and just wish him love and light, man. And be and provide support, but that doesn't mean you need to get involved with it unless he's asking you to. That's a different story.
Yeah, see, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's easier said than done when you see your friend going down a path that for you, you're like, I would never do that, but the key word is you would never do that. Unless they're asking you to do it, brethren, suckle yourself, it's cool, chill out.
That's it. Sometimes you gotta let people live.
No, sometimes you have to. You don't have a choice. You have no control over other people except yourself.
Yeah. Okay, this is Sad Woman.
Aww.
5 years ago, I remarried. My daughter's 21, and his son was 20. My daughter got involved with my stepson. Oh, wait a minute, huh? Oh.
So when they married, his daughter and the other son started having a relationship. Okay, keep going.
Okay. My husband and I were not happy about the relationship, but we were told it was between two consenting adults. True.
Yeah. They are not related either.
No. The relationship ended when my daughter was drunk at the time, returned home from a party, and accused her stepbrother of flirting. It just feels weird saying stepbrother. Okay, you focus.
Yeah, she came back, accused the other one of flirting. Yep, okay.
Okay, they got into a physical fight, and my husband had to break them up. His son ended up spending 2 nights in jail. He broke up with her the day he got out. My daughter has been holding a grudge for 2 years now and refuses to visit me or her stepfather if her stepbrother is here. He has been living with us to help and get back on his feet. His son is telling everyone that she is wrong for abandoning the family and she shouldn't have nothing to do, and they should have nothing to do with her. My daughter won't visit me or talk to her stepfather. My husband thinks they're both being childish. Sounds like they are. Their poor choice of a relationship and lack of maturity to deal with their problem is causing bitterness and resentment between family members. How do I deal with my daughter and his son?
Oh, okay. To clarify, these are not children, even though they're behaving like children. They are actually young adults.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean this to sound harsh, but it doesn't have anything to do with them. Okay, it does because obviously this is your children, and it's close to home. But there comes a point when you have to respect that these two individuals are actually adults. Yeah, and so what I would say to the mother is focus on just nurturing the relationship you have with your daughter. So if that means you have to go out and visit her, or you only meet up in restaurants, then you know what? Take that and work with that and just nurture the time that you have with your daughter. Yeah, the location of where she chooses to see you, as much as ideally it would be nice if she comes to the family and has family dinners and it's all big happy family, that's not how life works. So you've got to make the best of the circumstance. And if your daughter doesn't want to come around your son and she's not able to have an adult conversation and behave civilly around him, then you need to respect that and accept that. You don't have to like it, but you gotta have to accept it, because otherwise you are out here fighting a battle that you cannot win. They are both allowed to not like each other and bicker with each other, even if you can see from an outside perspective it's silly. What you need to do is work within the parameters that are within your control, which is your relationship directly with your daughter and the relationship directly with your stepson. So if you can only spend time with your daughter in her hometown, in her place, or you meet in restaurants or whatever, in different occasions, so be it. You have to have faith that maybe, hopefully, they will both grow up a little and learn to let things go. But you also need to accept the possibility that they may never let it go and may never like each other. So you are just going to... It's a possibility on either end of the scale. They may grow out of it and learn to see past it and get to go past it, but they could just as equally not. And then what? So that's why I'm saying work with what you can in the parameters, what you have. Try not to bring it up. Try not to... And also, the worst thing you can do is force either of them to suddenly be friends. That's not your place to do that. It will make it worse. Mm-hmm. You'll now become part of a problem that was never your business to begin with. Like, all right, ideally you would prefer them not to kind of get together and do what they did, but it's done. You cannot change it. It's between them two. They're grown adults. They need to either figure it out or not figure it out, but you can at least still maintain a relationship with your daughter the best that you can and focus on that and letting her know that you love her, that you don't judge her, and just work on maintaining your relationship with her. The rest, them two gonna have to figure it out, the knuckleheads. Goddamn children, driving nuts. God love them.
That is true. I mean, it's basically on the kids. I mean,
they're not kids though. That's the thing. They're young adults, and you have to remember that.
It's just hard because it's like I still can't get over this. I don't know. You say step brother, step sister. I'm thinking brother, sister. That alone just make it awkward, even though they're not related. It just makes an awkward situation because it's not like two separate families and she can go be with her family, he be with his. That's...
It's not ideal,
no.
But this situation is no different from sleeping with a coworker and it blowing up in your face. That's why they say you don't eat and shit on your own doorstep. It's the same principle. Yeah, I get the heart wants what it wants, or the lust, maybe in this case, wants what it wants. But again, these choices is what they're going to have to learn from. No, it's not ideal that a stepbrother and stepsister got together, but they've done it. And now they're going to have to learn from it. Right? It's the same reason, like I said, when you fall in love with or sleep with a coworker and then it all turns sour, and now you have to see that motherfucker at the office every day. Wasn't ideal. Maybe you shouldn't have done it, but you've done it. Now you're going to have to learn, and you won't... I guarantee you they won't be doing that again. You know, it's not ideal, but you need to focus on the individuals themselves and not their choices and their bickering, because their bickering is between them two. Don't get involved and try to play mediator. It's got nothing to do with you two as parents. They're two adults. Yeah, like I said, on the outside, you can see that they shouldn't have done it, but I'm sure there's things that they have done in their own life that they shouldn't have done. We've all done things that we shouldn't have done, Reggie.
Yeah, that's
all
true.
Of us, that we could all go, ooh, no, did you do that? Ah, ooh, I don't know. But it's done. That you can't change it. Focus on moving forward about how you can at least keep nurturing and growing and enhancing the mother-daughter relationship you have with your daughter. In the parameters that you have right now, work with what you've got. Is my advice. Stop trying to buck against it. Stop trying to force them to do something you want them to do because it will make you feel more. Because that's the other thing. The parents want them to work it out because then it will make everyone feel better. Mm-hmm. But life don't work like that. They're not going to conform for you just because it will make you feel better. They're pissed at each other, innit? They've got opinions about each other. They don't like each other. Leave them to figure it out or not, and just work on bonding as mother and daughter. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That is within your control. Focus on what's within your control and work with the parameters and the environment you've got right now. It's not ideal, I agree, and I feel for you, but you keep bucking against what you can't change, you will drive yourself nuts.
Yeah, because the only thing I would tell them is I would either have the father talk to the son and she talk to her daughter and tell them your bullshit is y'all bullshit. do not bring the rest of the family into it.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, if they want to be mad at each other, that's no problem. But, and I agree, maybe make that clear. Like, fair enough. We respect that you two can't get on. You're mad at each other, cool. But that stays between you two. You don't bring other family members in so that they've got to pick sides, because it's not fair.
Exactly.
No one should be forced to pick sides because you two wanted to bump uglies, as it's called. And then the shit got ugly. Yeah, like, it's not about that. If you're adult enough to lay in the bed with someone, own your choices. Do not bring other people into your bedroom antics. Keep it separate. So, and if that means they need to be separated, then maybe that's what they need. Maybe they need space. Maybe by you guys trying to force them to be one happy family is not working right now, isn't it?
See, exactly.
Respect the fact that they don't want to be a happy family right now, and just interact with them separately, and have faith, and hopefully things will work out, that once they've grown up a little and maybe they've experienced more life, that they realize stuff. But there's a possibility they may never like each other.
A very strong possibility.
It's a very strong possibility. So like I said, you got to make the best of what you got, and just be thankful that your daughter and your stepson are still around. Have a relationship with them the best that you can in it. And do not, for the love of Jesus, try to pick sides.
No.
Try not to. I know it's easier said than done because it's your daughter, that's his son. But if you pick sides, it will end up affecting the father and mother's relationship.
And they don't want that to happen.
You don't want that, because now you've taken on their bullshit and made it your bullshit. Okay? They're not babies. They did what they did. It's not ideal. But don't make their choices your choices. Be Switzerland. Neutraler than a motherfucker. There we go.
That is the way to go.
That's how I'd handle it. I'll be honest. If those are my kids, I'd be like, oh, hell no. That's some bullshit. Don't involve me. I'm going to come see you. We can have coffee, but I don't want to hear about you talking about X. No, I ain't got time for it. No. Don't involve me in this madness. You're not children anymore. You're going to have to figure it out. I've come to see you. I want to spend time with you, you know.
See. And that was the last one.
Oh, well, you ended on a big bang. Well, now.
Oh, my goodness.
Whew, I'm going to need a cup of tea, as we say in Britain. We need a cup of tea and a biscuit, mate. Do you know what I mean? Okay, now. Them questions, some of those, woo, made me sweat, mate. Made me sweat.
Oh, my goodness.
I think the ones that made me sweat was the last one, and the one about the pillow talk and saying you liked your best friend. That one made me sweat. Those two made me sweat. The one about I'm a powerful woman and my man needs to get his shit together, like that. Those questions made me sweat. It was like, hey, shoo, hey.
Oh. Man, it's just amazing to hear. Like, this is the stuff you hear. People don't realize that other people are going through behind closed doors.
Hey, well,
you never know.
This is what makes the world a lovely, diverse place, though, isn't it? It's always interesting. It's never a dull place on planet Earth.
No, it's really not.
Never. Listen, and it also shows that we as humanity are all fallible. We all make mistakes. We're all confused. We all have experienced moments of loneliness, pain, confusion. So, if you ever feel alone, just know someone else out there is feeling equally as alone. So therefore, we're not alone. That's what I tell myself anyway, when I'm rocking myself to sleep at night. I'm not alone.
Oh my goodness. Actually, they did ask some good questions.
They did. Really good questions. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, listen, guys, I know.
And again, disclaimer again, we're not lawyers, doctors, psychiatrists. This is just our thoughts and opinions.
Yes.
You don't have to take it for law. You can completely tell us to go F ourselves. Yeah? And tell us, they wrong. That's fine. That's cool. You asked, we spoke. Leave it at that.
So, guys, listen, we got as many questions as we could. And I know there was more questions.
But we can always do it again another time.
Yeah. So just because when I was going through the emails, I was like, okay. Because you got to take the questions, put them all in one section, try to make sure. Like some people said, like 2 questions.
Oh, cheeky. One at a time, lads and ladies, as we say.
Okay. But
Try
at
to
least
get a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
Just cramming a second question in there.
But thank you, everybody. Everybody was so respectful with the questions. I appreciate that. I didn't have to send anything nasty back about check yourself.
Before you wreck yourself. That's
So
good, though.
I do appreciate everybody being...
And I'm honoured that you would want to hear our opinions as well. Do you see what I mean?
Except for private guy.
You leave him alone. He's coming to Greenhive, South East London. Woo, woo, woo. Welcome to good old sunny London town. I should say not so sunny London town, since we don't really have many days of sun.
Oh, there's no sun in November, is it? Is it November you said this?
No. You picked a really
Oh.
bad month to come. I just thought I'd clarify that for you. Should have picked a sunny month. It's going to be colder than a motherfucker. Actually, it depends. We don't get nowhere near as cold as certain places in America, to be fair. Depending on if he's from like Chi-Town or Philadelphia or New York, this might actually feel like summer for him. You know what I mean? Compared to his winters, I don't know.
Oh, that's a good
But
question.
we get rainy winters. It's rain. Lots of rain, Reggie. Bring your umbrella.
Oh, well, good luck to you, private guy. Hopefully everything works out. And also the woman with the sleeping stepbrother and sister. Oh, my God. So,
We're praying for everybody, including our
Yes.
own selves, including ourselves. Don't worry about it.
oh, my goodness. Oh. All right, people. So we're going to wrap up this Q&A, and we'll definitely have Angelique back so we can do more of your questions, because some of you are very impatient.
I like it.
So
I don't know where that came from. Sorry. Keep going. I'm clearly delirious from sitting here talking and answering all these questions. Jesus.
Oh, so what was I gonna say?
Goodbye. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, we are going to let y'all go. So see you guys. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, next Friday. Yeah, because this is episode 15. Because somebody asked that. Yeah, this is 15. And for as far as that question of where was that train at in London, I have no idea. I'm sorry. It was in one of the skits. One of the skits at the end, I think it was, there's a train in the background, and it's, somebody said, oh, that's in London, but I have no idea where that was. It's a sound effect, guys. I'm sorry. I have no idea. No idea. It just sounded good, so I slapped it in there.
Ugh, sloppy editing.
Well, thank you guys for staying with us, man, for always tuning in. Appreciate the love and support, the emails, the website, all of that. We appreciate it. Thank you for showing Angelique and Melissa love. You guys are always shouting everybody out. You guys are always asking questions and staying involved and active with the show. So much love and much respect.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Felicia.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Simply Straight Talk podcast. Make sure you visit our website at rmviagem.com, where you can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Libsyn, SoundCloud, or Spotify, so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in the show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes, or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that will help us out too. Thank you, and see you next week.